What is up, my friends? You are very welcome along to Thursday evening's Anfield Agenda News Roundup. I think we can all agree a lot has happened since we last spoke. And if you're wondering why I didn't cover the Uruguay and Darwin Núñez situation in this morning's news video, I'm going to let you in a little secret. I recorded that video and put it out just around 3 a.m. as I was going up to bed. Little did I know what was about to unfold. So I'm going to go through it now and give you the very latest on that situation. We're also going to be talking about US men's national team's interest in former Liverpool manager Jurgen Klopp. We're going to ask, are these reports coming out of Portugal linking Liverpool with a move for Joao Neves true? Also, Virgil van Dijk's comments. Was it just in the heat of the moment? Was he just a little bit emotional after after the Netherlands were knocked out by England at the very death there with an Ollie Watkins goal? And also, we're going to be talking about Yilmaz and Nico Williams. So, that and a lot more over the next few minutes. But of course, we always want to know your thoughts. So do let us know in the comment section. Drop a like on the video if you enjoy it. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button if I could be so rude. Also, I'd love you to subscribe to the Anfield Agenda Clips channel. We're closing in on 30,000 subscribers, so if you haven't, please subscribe to that as well. You can see the link in the description or the QR code in the bottom corner. Right, let's start off with the aftermath of the Uruguay Columbia game last night. As I'm sure you're aware, Colombia won it by 1-0. They went down to 10 men as well and held out, but it's the aftermath of the game that of course has caused a lot of frustration, anger, finger pointing, whatever else you want to call it. For me, I always like to take a step back in these situations and let the truth come to the fore. Let the information and the investigation happen before we point any fingers or cast any aspersions. So, what do we know so far? Well, Jimenez, one of the Uruguayan defenders, has said, "This is an embarrassment. There wasn't one police officer to control there. We had to go to defend their own just because they can't control their drinking." Lots and lots of stuff has happened, but what we know for certain is that Darwin Núñez and some of those Uruguayan players felt the need to get into the stands and defend their families, their friends. That's what we're being told at the moment. And I have to say, if that is the case, I would have done the very same thing. And I think most people, if they felt their loved ones were in danger, would have done the very same thing. But I don't want to go too far in behind Darwin, but I certainly don't want to be pointing fingers at him either. This moment in time, let the investigation take place. What I would say is, in the greater scheme of things, security at football needs to be beefed up a little bit. Whether it's these type of incidents or whether it's young player or young fans running on to try and get a photo with Messi or Ronaldo or anybody else, safety needs to be paramount, and everybody that goes to a football game needs to come home safely. That is the priority, and it should always be the priority. So other than that, I don't really feel it's fair for me to discuss the situation, but let's wait and see how it all unfolds. Right, Jurgen Klopp. So, as you may know, the US men's national team have sacked their head coach. And of course, the World Cup is coming up in that part of the world as well. The US men's national team have just had to look at Canada, reach the semi-finals of the Copa America, and they've said to themselves, can we do a little bit better? We don't want to underperform again like they did at these Copa America. So let's wait and see what happens. Can they get Jurgen Klopp? Maybe. I certainly think they'd have the financial wherewithal to make an offer to him, but will Jurgen be able to be tempted? That remains to be seen. It would be a very, very big get for the US men's national team, and as Miguel Delaney and others are reporting, they are plotting an ambitious move to appoint Jurgen Klopp as their replacement for the recently sacked coach. Keep your eyes peeled on this one. And look, it would be a huge get for the US men's national team if they could tempt Jurgen in. And I think he would certainly unite the team and, of course, the country ahead of the World Cup. Next up, we're going to speak about Virgil van Dijk and his comments after the Netherlands were knocked out by England with that very late and very well taken Ollie Watkins goal that made England progress to the finals, where they will take on Spain. Again, we'll discuss that and a lot more tonight. But until then, let's just go through what Virgil had to say, because many of you, including myself, are a little bit concerned. He said, "I will think carefully this summer about what I want at club level and as an international player. After a season like this, where all kinds of things have happened, it gets emotional at the end because you know it's over." And I think that that's fair enough from Virgil. Virgil is known as being an emotional type of guy, but he's human like everybody else. And when you've got a camera shoved in your face after a very hard fought battle where you were agonisingly close to at least going into extra time and potentially leading your country to a World or to a Euros final, that's a heartache. And if you take on top of the way Liverpool fell away at the end of the season as well, I can see how this will have played on Virgil. Now, many people have had a go at me over the last few months because I've spoken about the toll that being the captain has taken on Virgil, both at club and international level. And I've said, for me, I wouldn't have had Virgil as Liverpool captain. I would have let him concentrate on his football. And this is just another example of how it is getting to the man. He is human. I know we think of him as this cool, calm, collected, robotic superhero, but like everybody else, he does have emotions. And I would take the man at face value here. Let him go away, recoup, process everything, and figure out what he wants to do. From Liverpool's perspective, it is a tricky situation. We know he's into the last year now of his contract, same as Trent, same as Mo, but all we can do at this moment in time is wait, see what Virgil feels, and he will dictate his own future. So fingers crossed that we get the outcome that we'd all like, which is of course Virgil to stay, continue to captain Liverpool, but it does leave questions, and let's see where that leads. But for now, I think we just have to take the man at face value and understand where he's coming from. So, moving into transfers now. The big news coming out this afternoon is that CM Jornal, who I believe are a Portuguese outlet, have said that Liverpool are now ready to move forward and make a formal proposal to sign Benfica midfielder Joao Neves. They say Arne Slot will evaluate his players in midfield, but want somebody with the characteristics of Neves. So we know that Liverpool have been willing to go big for that central defensive midfielder. We've seen the Moise Caicedo bid. We've seen the follow-up even for Lavia. Now, it remains to be seen if Liverpool will get to the 120 million euro that it's believed Benfica will hold out for. The 120 million euro, of course, is the number in his buyout clause in his contract, and they've turned down offers previously of about half of that from Premier League clubs and other clubs. Liverpool are not the only club interested in Joao Neves. There is a host of European clubs all hovering around, but if he's the guy that we want, let's see if we pony up the money. I think we may, if he is that guy, but what I can say with any certainty is if he is the guy or not. I don't know what Michael Edwards and Richard Hughes have on their list, but this guy is somebody that we should be looking at. So if nothing else, I think this is a very positive link and one that we will keep an eye on, of course, discuss in more detail tonight. So we've got confirmation from Turkey of interest in another player as well. We spoke about Yilmaz, the guy who was playing for Turkey, was playing more to the central for Turkey, but is known as a right winger, plays his football with Galatasaray. Well, 20% of his registration is owned by his former club, and their president has been speaking about the reports of interest in him. This is what he had to say. With 20% of Barış Alper Yilmaz's share, but Galatasaray has not requested a meeting with us on this issue. I hear that Liverpool and Arsenal want him, but I knew Borussia Dortmund coach Nuri Sahin definitely wants him. I don't think the price will be 50 million euro. He can be sold for around 30 million euro, which is about 25 million pounds. So, will Nuri Sahin, of course, former Turkish international, now Borussia Dortmund head coach, I could see that link. I could see how that would work well. Let's wait and see what happens here. I'm a little bit dubious of Liverpool's interest, to be honest with you. I don't know how strongly I would back the fact that we're in for him, but you know, it is a bit of match of the day fever. So keep an eye on it, but I wouldn't be too worried or concerned about it. Nico Williams, on the other hand, well, that looks like it's starting to reach a crescendo. Liverpool, Chelsea and Bayern Munich, according to Marca, are all set to be part of a bidding war for Nico Williams, despite Barcelona being very interested. They don't want to be part of the auction because of the wages involved, according to Marca. But that's not really the vibe coming out of Barcelona. They feel, and there's even been reports of a handshake agreement. So let's wait and see how this one pans out. I don't think Liverpool are going to get involved because we don't get into bidding wars. And while the bidding war wouldn't really be about the transfer fee because that's set in stone with the release clause, it would be about his wages. And we know his wages are reportedly about 250 grand a week now, and he's going to ask about 300 grand a week according to reports. We also have to keep in mind that Yamal and him are good mates with the Spanish national team, and the idea of those two hooking up front when you've seen what Barcelona are going to be up against with Real Madrid and their riches, Kylian Mbappe, Jude Bellingham, Valverde, Vinny Jr., Rodrigo, they know what they're up against. So you can see from their perspective why they're going to try and go big to bring Nico Williams in. And I guess the one thing in their favour is it does seem as though, according to various reports, he would like to ideally stay in Spain. So let's wait and see how this one pans out. Love to know your thoughts, my friends, in the comment section. And don't forget, we will be back tonight live at 8:45. Can't wait to catch up with you all. I've missed you over the last few days. Until then, drop a like on the video. Let me know your thoughts. And don't forget to subscribe to the Anfield Agenda Clips channel. I'll catch up with you real soon. Thanks so much for watching. See you at 8:45. Bye-bye.